Hi everyone, this is Jared Murphy. I'm excited to be with you to talk to you about one of my favorite subjects, foreclosures. If you're watching this video, you probably have some interest in what's going on in the market today, and you're exploring the possibility of whether a foreclosure may or may not be for you. So I'm going to give you some help and walk you through foreclosures and kind of the good, bad, and the ugly of foreclosures, and some tips and advice that will really help you if you decide to buy a foreclosure, help you a little bit through the process. So I remember how it was. I read a lot of books about foreclosures, and I'd heard about foreclosures, and you know, the extra value that you can get by buying at a big discount. So let me walk you through some of the things that will help you successfully buy a foreclosure if it's right for you, and I'll help give you the criteria of when maybe it is right for you. Let's talk about the process. Foreclosure has happened because somebody stopped paying their mortgage payment. Now there's all kinds of reasons of why that has happened. What used to happen, I remember about 4 years ago, it was really hard to find a foreclosure that was worth buying because they were pricing them so high, and the foreclosures that were coming on the market, because prices were escalating so much, the only reason anyone would go into foreclosure is they had damaged the home so bad that they couldn't sell it even at existing prices. And so very few homes came up for foreclosure. The ones that did were not good deals at all. They had a lot of repair work that was needed. So today, though, is a totally different story. Actually, we're finding today there are some great foreclosure deals out there. So here's what's happened in foreclosures. People have lost their home. Now, sometimes these are really good people that are very responsible, took great care of the home, but they maybe lost their job due to current economic conditions, or for some reason, maybe they got their pay cut and they couldn't afford the payment anymore. So they haven't been able to afford the payment. The home goes into foreclosure. They lose the home, and so the bank has foreclosed on it and taken possession of it. So the banks typically try to figure out about what 90% of today's current value would be, and they try to sell at that 90% mark. They put the home on the market, and every 30 days, you know, if they haven't sold it, they usually drop the price by little increments every 30 days until it sells. It's a little bit about foreclosures and what brings it to the market. Now, buying the right foreclosure and finding what you want and getting the deal that makes sense for you. First of all, here's when you should consider a foreclosure. Now, oftentimes on foreclosures, there are problems, even if they're just small ones. So most of the time, the home won't look perfectly and feel right. There might only be some cosmetic problems with it, like maybe the paint is all off. Maybe they painted the living room lime green. You know, sometimes problems just as small as that, as easy to remedy as that, with a little bit of painting, and it's fixed. However, sometimes home buyers, they want to buy a home that feels right, and you know, it hits them emotionally right when they walk in. Foreclosures rarely will do that. They're rarely not in perfect condition where they just really shine at you like, come buy me. They usually have little problems, even if it's just cosmetic problems. And sometimes they have very big problems that need to be fixed. Structural things wrong with the house. So, here's how you get a foreclosure. First of all, you want to ask yourself, if you're looking for the home that hits you just right, then maybe foreclosures aren't for you. But if you're willing to sacrifice a little bit of the emotional impact you want to have on you, and be able to see it for what it is, and be able to see it for what it can be with a little bit of work, maybe it is a good fit. So then, you want to select a good real estate agent that's done a lot of foreclosure deals. First of all, so that they have experience with them and comfortability, that they know what it is they're looking for and how to help you find it. Number two, so they have experience negotiating with the banks, because the banks will typically take a certain percentage off what their price is, and somebody who's got experience will help you be able to figure out where that is, so get you the best price below what the asking price is on it. Also, so they know the process, they'll have a good team of inspectors that they can recommend, but some good inspectors and people that will help do the inspections to make sure the home's in good order and there aren't any major structural problems. With that said, after you select your agent, they'll show you some homes, and you want to pick one that is along the lines of what you want, and maybe it has some work to do. Maybe you have to do some painting, maybe you have to do little fixes here and there. Some of it you may not know how to do, but a good real estate agent will have the connections to refer you to some people, or on Craigslist you can find some people that can come in and fix those things and put the house in order. So on that part of the process, good. Once you do find the right home, your agent will help you negotiate the right price. Once it goes under contract and the seller has agreed to a price that you've agreed to, and the conditions and all the terms of the offer, then we start a process, and usually that process is 30 to 45 days from when the offer is accepted until when it closes. And in that time we have time to do the inspection, so we have a window usually of about 2 weeks to get the inspections done. Make sure everything's right with the property. If major things come up during the inspections that you didn't know about, you find out the plumbing doesn't work, you find out heater doesn't work, sometimes we're able to go back to the bank and negotiate with it. Now I know that all the banks put in there sold as is, and seller will make no repairs to the property. Generally that is absolutely true. Generally they will not do any repairs, but that doesn't mean if you find major issues that you didn't know about, and usually they didn't know about, sometimes they'll be willing to negotiate the price down a little bit further just because of those issues. For example, in one case I was helping an investor buy a property and there was huge plumbing issues we didn't even know about. So we were able to go back to them, we were able to renegotiate the price down by $10,000 because of the extent of the plumbing issues we found. Because the seller didn't want to fix it, my buyer was in a position that he was able to still buy it, fix the plumbing issues himself. In fact, he was able to fix them for about $5,600. So he actually came out even ahead by the issues that we found. And we were still able to save the deal and make it work, and my buyer was even happier actually that we found the issues than if there hadn't been any issues at all. So once we get under contract, inspections, then once you find out if there's anything majorly wrong with it, you're able to send some objections to the bank and see if they'll come down on price or see if they'll fix things, because they usually won't fix things, but sometimes they will. Usually they might come down on price for big problems. Then you go through and make sure you have financing in order, or if you're paying cash, then great. We get to the closing table, sign documents, and now you own the property. At this point it's time to get all the people out there to actually fix it. I usually recommend to my clients that you have some people out there just in the week or two prior to close, kind of giving you estimates and preparing everything so that once you sign papers, you're ready to get the few things done you needed to. Now on some foreclosures there's very little needed. In fact, these days a lot of foreclosures, it's really just some paint and a little bit of cosmetic things makes the home look beautiful. So with that said, I hope that's helpful in walking you through the foreclosure process and helping you understand more about that. The real estate market right now is better than it's ever been. I mean, it's absolutely phenomenal in the prices that we're seeing and all the things, all the deals that are out there. I mean, it's a great time to take advantage of that. Hopefully you're in a position that you can. Prices haven't been this low when adjusted for inflation since 80s, maybe even all the way back to the Great Depression, and there's some really, really good deals out there. And foreclosure homes are a way to capture some extra deals. Let me just share with you a few foreclosures my clients have gotten in the last little bit. One, I was able to help them get a fourplex for $100,000 under what that same price would have been 2.5 years ago. Even as a foreclosure deal, the fourplexes were selling for over 200, mid-200s. And it did have some issues that needed to be solved, and I think he had to put in about $20,000 to bring it up really nice. But he's going to be able to have that cash flow for him with just 2.5 of the 4 units rented on the fourplex. He'll be able to cash flow, so if he has all 4 units rented, he's in a perfect position. Single family homes, I've been able to help, there's been a lot of my clients that have been able to get foreclosure deals. I just helped somebody buy a home just recently up in Rio Rancho that was a foreclosure deal, and it was probably $70,000 below what it had been just 2.5 years ago before it went into foreclosure. So there are some great deals out there if you're in position to take advantage of it. Hope that's been helpful and informative. My name is Jared Murphy. It's been so great talking with you today. Hope we get a chance to meet sometime.